I wanted to make a big change, not only just to travel, but I wanted my life to count for something. Hi guys, it's Shelley Dennis here. I'm the creator of Photo Tripping America and the solo traveler community, and I thought it was high time I introduce myself and share a little of the story of how I fell into the full-time travel lifestyle. I started out my career after college as a high school teacher in the Midwest. I knew eventually I wanted to move to Colorado, but while I was teaching in the Midwest, I applied for teaching jobs all over the Centennial State and didn't find one. At the end of 4 years, I threw my hands in the air and said, I'm coming anyway. So moved to Vail, Colorado is kind of a ski bum, but it's pretty expensive to stay there. So I got a lot of hourly wage jobs to be able to make ends meet. During that time, about the third year that I was living in Vail, my mother, who was living in another state, died of breast cancer. And I looked back over the time of her diagnosis, which was about 8 years between the time she was diagnosed and the time she passed away. And I realized that all the time I was able to travel on days off and maybe long weekends, I was taking pictures to be able to share my travel destinations with her. She had a great love of travel, which I obviously inherited, but once she was diagnosed, she was not able to travel anymore, and this was my way of sharing some of those locations with her. So inadvertently, I kind of started a photography business while doing that. And once she passed away, I realized just how short life can be and sometimes how cruel, because you can't sometimes follow the dreams that you've had. And I didn't want that to happen to me. So I decided shortly thereafter to sell a house that I had purchased in Leadville and take the meager earnings off of that sale and buy myself a tent and a good camera setup. And I traveled the country for a year living in the tent, which was probably one of the greatest years of my life. It was also one of the most difficult. You are dependent upon the weather and the kindness of strangers and all kinds of good things, but it was just an amazing time to get out and discover the wonders in this country and the amazing people that live here as well. But I knew at the end of that first year that I was going to have to come back to reality and get a quote-unquote real job. So I moved back to Colorado, found a job that, paid the bills, but it wasn't a passion of mine, so to speak. And I worked for, let's say, jump forward 20 years. I'm working as an office manager. I do a little photography on the side. I started my own frame shop and art studio. And eventually, the last 12 years that I was here, I was a gardener for a private couple in town. At this point in time, I was landed in the most beautiful and wonderful place in the entire world, Buena Vista, Colorado, in case you're wondering. And worked for this couple for 12 years as a gardener on a 550-acre mountain estate. It was a dream job. I really loved it, and I loved the people that I worked for. But I looked up, and all of a sudden, most of my friends are thinking about retirement. I started looking back over the previous 20 years or so and realized that I didn't have a lot to show for my life thus far. I had never found my knight in shining armor, which was a big dream to find a wonderful, godly man and start a family. So I hadn't invested my time in raising children or in doing jobs that I was passionate about. Don't get me wrong, I had some great jobs, and I did them to the best of my ability and enjoyed them, but they weren't personal passions of mine. And I realized that, once again, life is short. And I started to get that wanderlust again that I'd had 20 years previously. So I had a really nice discussion with my younger brother and told him of these tentative plans that I was making about possibly buying an older RV, traveling the country, and figuring out how to make a living while I was doing it, but basically changing my life up drastically. I was grateful that he was very supportive, and he really said that I needed to go do this because within a month he passed away very suddenly and unexpectedly. So it was nice to know that I had the support of the last family member that I had before he passed, and it gave me some impetus again to get out and do what was in my heart. I wanted to make a big change, not only just to travel, but I wanted my life to count for something. I wanted to be important to others, and I wanted to invest my time and efforts into other people. So I made a 2-year plan. I talked with my employer and got her on board as far as me being able to leave in 2 years as long as I trained my replacement, and started planning and saving money, looking for RVs, and learning everything I possibly could about RVs themselves, the lifestyle, finding camping spots, how things worked, how to budget for RV life, all kinds of great things. So I finally made my escape almost 3 years ago. I found an older RV. I had scoured the country online looking for one, and scoured the entire state of Colorado for a year, driving around and looking at different options. And I ended up finding an older Class A RV a mile from my home here in Buena Vista. So I have Wyatt, the Wild West RV. He is a Rexall Airbus, and I have a beloved Subaru that requires me to put it on a trailer to pull it behind our RV. This creates quite a challenge some days in looking for campsites that we can fit into, but we've been able to make it work. In fact, I typically stay in one place for up to 14 days, park the RV, and I use the Subaru to explore the area, looking for places to photograph and people and places to write about. Now, I realize you've probably heard me use the plural term we quite a bit, so I should tell you that I have a trusty sidekick. His name is Sully, and he is the most amazing golden retriever around. He makes quite a great travel buddy, and I'll be honest, he typically is the star of all of our videos. At least he has a cameo in each one. Talking about videos, we do have several different types of videos in our YouTube channel, including travel destination videos where Sully and I have videotaped places that we like to visit and show you what it looks like, tell you about the camping opportunities or hiking opportunities or history that you might learn of the area in those videos, as well as listing resources below each so that you can find out more information. We also have instructional videos that are part of our Solo Traveler community, which is a membership site that I have created for other like-minded travel wannabes and those who are already on the road, with lots of resources, all kinds of courses and trainings, and some of those videos are part of the trainings as well that you can utilize. And thirdly, we're making this video diary or journal. And I've created this because I realize there are so many people who have asked me about traveling as a solo female. And I realize that a lot of those people really want to do what I'm doing, but they have a fear for one reason or another about jumping in with both feet. So I'm hoping that this journey that I'm taking and sharing with you will help those of you that are considering maybe traveling full-time. Maybe you will learn, as we do, what goes right, what goes wrong along the way, and also see the wonders of what we get to experience on a daily basis. I just remember what I felt like when I watched a friend who was a full-time travel come to town and visit, and I was still working my daily job, and when she left, I had such a yearning to be able to do what she was doing. I wanted control over my own time. I wanted to be able to pick and choose what I saw, who I met, what I learned, and take the responsibility upon myself for making a living while I was doing that. And I'm hoping that this video journal, as we travel and share the ups and downs of RV lifestyle and the places and people we get to meet, that it will help those of you that might have that same dream or yearning to jump in an RV and just escape your daily life, even if it's just for a while, or jump in and learn to live in an RV. So I hope that you'll continue this journey with us. We'll be posting as often and as frequently as we possibly can to give you an idea of what the RV lifestyle is truly like, especially for a solo female traveler. And you'll always find links in the notes below each video for things that we refer to. I also would encourage you, especially if you're looking for new travel destinations, to check out our website at phototrippingamerica.com. I've been writing there for several years, and you'll find all kinds of stories about destinations, the history of lots of places that we visit, and lots of great images to go with it. Maybe it'll give you some things to dream about as well. But for now, I probably should sign off and invite you to come back next week, and also invite you to please subscribe to our channel here at YouTube. It helps other people find us. And to be honest, it really encourages me to know that there are people out there that are watching and enjoying what we're posting. So until then, I'll say goodbye until next week.